There's nothing much better than a Friday night in November in the Low Country here, round one of the playoffs across SCISA and the South Carolina High School League. We've got some teams in cruise control that have dominated. We have some teams in serious trouble as well as we look at Buford's own broadcast as the Bluffton Bobcats are in a bit of trouble in a lot of trouble now. They're down by 10, and we are in the fourth quarter with 10:40 to go. Bluffton coming into this season with very high expectations. They are in danger of being ousted in round one of the South Carolina High School League 4A playoffs. They are trailing Gilbert, and we got a lot of other scores for you across. It's not looking too good in terms of 4A. Only one team is looking their part right now, and they're in control. That's Hilton Head, 45-17. Derek Renishevsky, just as I was leaving to head back to headquarters, it looks like a long touchdown. They are up big against South Aiken, but Wilson, with last we checked, a slim lead over May River in a close battle there at the tank. 28-21 last time we checked. The Sharks did just score to make it a one-possession game, 6:22 left to go in that one. That's your 4A bracket, and then, of course, as expected, South Point all over Buford to 56-6 into the third over there. But in the rematch from the Stallions and the Eagles. 3A Battery Creek at Loris looking for a score there. Hampton County up big, 42-6. Though as Buford scores make it to 56-13 South Point on a smallest 3-yard touchdown pass to Jenkins. But that wasn't all but over in terms of the decision there. Whale Branch put up a good fight early against Simmons. Last I checked, they were down by a score, but not sure where that is right now. And unfortunately for the Hardyville Hurricanes, they battle out 28-6 in a game that was closer than the score would indicate, as Justin Jarrett will talk to us a little bit about in a bit. Rich Bowling, we're looking for a score there. And then on the SCISA side, Hilton Head Christian County flexed his muscles. They're up 48-20 last we checked. They're still in the third quarter over there in a shootout, but the Eagles of Hilton Head Christian County well in control. JP2, a rough night over at Florence Christian. They are down 28-0 against the Eagles of Florence Christian. Hilton Head Prep is out Calhoun. And then we got all four games going on regarding with Lowco teams in the 1A bracket for SCISA. Carlton Prep well on their way to a win, 44-20 over Lee Academy. Thomas Hayward looking good at home, 34-20 there. Carolina Academy.
There, Wes.
Not so good for BA. They're down 22-14 last we checked, third quarter. And Patrick Henry struggling as expected against Williamsburg. The Stallions of 40-12. So that's where we are right now. We'll get you some score updates throughout the evening. But JJ, a tough night for Hardyville to end their season, but certainly a lot closer than that final score showed.
Yeah, and I have an update on that Thomas Hayward game as well. Another touchdown for Tonio Banner. They're up 41-20 now, so it looks like the Rebels are going to advance.
They'll be marching on.
Out Ridgeland. Yeah. The
and
Hardyville game.
Most likely be on their way to Williamsburg next week, it appears, because the Stallions are well in control in that one.
Hardyville game was a good competitive game. It, ended up 28-6, but it was 20-6 with Hardyville driving. Just minutes before that, and got stopped on a fourth down, close to the red zone, right near the red zone. So if you could have punched it in there, it would have been a one-score game. But then Lakeview was able to drive.
Oh, no.
Turnover?
Oh, my goodness. A muffed catch on the punt by the Bobcats, and it looks like Gilbert's going to get right back up by 10. Oh, that might be the dagger for this Bluffton team.
I was scared of Gilbert.
What a disastrous play on special teams, a muffed punt. And it looks like Gilbert's got it with a 10-point lead, and they are in Bobcat territory.
Oh, wow.
That is exactly what you didn't want to see in that situation. All you do is make a fair catch. You get the ball back with a good offense, a potent offense, down by 10, and now it's all flipped on the other side as their defense is going to have to make a quick stop. 31-21 Gilbert. the Indians looking for the upset.
Wow. Yeah. And, they've just kind of taken it here in the second half. It was a 4-point game going into halftime, and felt like, Bluffton's been a second half team all year, really. So you kind of thought that, well, maybe they got them right where they want them, but Gilbert's come out in the second half. That defense has been outstanding. They've done a great job of covering downfield, not giving up big plays. And Bluffton can't get stopped right now, and they finally did, and they muffed the punt.
I mean, that's a backbreaker right there when you get the stop and then you turn it over on the special teams. So now, see what this defense can do. This seems like a must-stop situation with where the game is right now, 9:27 to go, fourth quarter. If you let Gilbert score again, then especially if they find the end zone again, the 3-possession game seems to be most likely out of reach. So you're gonna have to make a stop quickly right here if you're Hayden Gregory. We got a final, not a good final from Philip Simmons. The Iron Horses went 63 to 30. Sorry, the Iron Horses went 57 to 12. Will Branch fouls out in round one. They start off decently well, but as expected, the Iron Horses got going and they won it 57 to 12 over the Whale Branch Warriors. And that does it for the Whale Branch. And then South Point 63-13. That one in the books. The Stallions are looking like a state championship contender, if not the favorite in 4A, and they are taking care of business against Bryce Lyman's Eagles.
All right. Yeah, South Point.
However,
absolute unit.
Some interesting developments going on over at the Shark Tank. 4 false starts in a row committed by Wilson. They have it second down and 25, and that might just do it for Bluffton. Touchdown Indians and a long pass from around the 40, and it's a wide open receiver down the left sideline. He just skips his way into the end zone, and that might just be lights out for the Bobcats.
And a dagger to the Sharks as well. Ray Alonso just sending an update.
3rd and 25. What a disaster right there. A touchdown pass on 3rd and forever for Wilson, and they are one step closer to a date with the Seahawks next week.
Yeah, they'll be trekking back to the Lowco if this score holds. So, man, in a year where we felt like this was one of the strongest regions we've had top to bottom, at least, 1 through 4, not boding well. Have we seen a Bishop England score yet?
I will take a look at that one.
I do have an update from Ridgeland. They had fallen behind against Bethune-Bowman, but they have rallied now and lead 30 to 28. So we got a Donnybrook over there. Jags trying to advance. What do we got?
Sorry, I'm just checking the Bishop England update if I got anything. 38-21 Indians. Yep.
While you're doing that, I'll tell you more about the Hardyville game. So started off with Hardyville getting a stop, and then an Efrain Tinoco field goal. Efrain Tinoco, definitely one of the unsung heroes of the day in the Lowco, because he ran the Class 1A state qualifier cross-country race at 10 o'clock this morning, PR'd in 22:40-something, or 50-something, something like that.
So, Bishop England.
And then kicked 2 field goals tonight for all the points for the Canes. What do you got on Bishop England?
Bishop England, they are in control against Lower Richland, 24-7, battling Bishops. So that will not be the only region team that will advance. It looks like Bishop England is going to win their first round matchup.
I mean, it goes to show how narrow the margins really were. and how much matchups matter.
Yeah, matchup dependent. I mean,
Matchups
that's
are everything
everything. Gilbert's a good team. We knew that they were going to show up,
for
but
sure.
certainly not to this level. And Bobcats' mistakes have haunted them in this game. And I guess the concerns about May River, I mean, were certainly warranted. And I thought the matchup suited them, but to give credit to Wilson and how they executed against this Shark defense, because I said in the pregame show, it's going to come down to May River's defense. Like I know they would be able to score, but their defense is unable to stop them, then it's not going to look good for the Sharks, and that's certainly
Yeah.
what we have seen, and it
We got
hurts
a couple
because
of
there's
finals coming in, Wes. Final from Barnville. Hampton County rolls 56-22. Had a little bit of
right.
trouble early. Lake City put up a pretty good fight in the first half, but Canes got rolling and they went big, so they're on to the next one now. I think they're going to
So
get a real
Hardyville advances,
challenge
or sorry,
next week.
the Hampton County advances. Hardyville eliminated here tonight, unfortunately, but at least one Hurricanes team
Yeah,
is through.
yeah, but I
Um,
mean, I got to say that Hardyville team played really tough tonight. The defense continued to play exceptionally well. They got worn down a little bit in the second half and gave up some decent sized plays. But
yep.
it was a 6-6 game at just before the half, and then gave up a touchdown after giving up 2 fourth down conversions, which was rough. So that made it 14-6 at halftime. And we had the ball coming out, but unfortunately, our junior quarterback, Emiliano Santiago, got his ankle stepped on toward the end of the first half, and he tried to, they took him in at halftime and tried to work on it, but he was unable to play the second half. So Kyron Jameson, the freshman, stepped in and made some plays, but also made some, freshman mistakes, and great opportunity for him to learn from the experience. In a playoff atmosphere, because I think they'd like to develop him as the quarterback, certainly for 2 years from now, but
Yep.
I think they'd like to do that next year and let Millie play more defense and
Yeah.
play a different role on offense. So he had some growing pains, but again, it
Quickly,
was
some
22-6.
updates. Quickly,
And
some
well, just
updates
real quick,
across the Lowco. May River
yeah,
able to answer with a quick score, and that's still that's a one possession game, 36-28. So still hope for the Sharks with 2:12 to go. They'll have to get a quick stop, and then they'll have to score again, get a 2-point conversion, but not over yet over there at May River. And then we got a good news final score: Colleton Prep 44, Lee Academy 28. The Warhawks take care of the Cavaliers. They advance to the second round,
all right.
where it looks like they will face Dorchester Academy unless Beaufort Academy comes back to knock them off. Last we checked, Dorchester had not a commanding lead, but a sizable lead, 22-14. So I'm going to see if I can find an update there. And that's score.
And while you do that, we got an update from Ridgeland, from rural Ridgeland, I should say.
Oh,
Thomas Hayward, Tony O'Banner, another touchdown. It's 47-20 Rebels. Jay Alfonso from Jay's Barbershop, where the place to be in
yeah.
Ridgeland when you need a haircut or not, giving us the updates from THA tonight.
All right. So Hayward looks to be on their way to round two after that big win over Beaufort Academy last week, which I got to get to. I am searching for a BA Dorchester score. I have not found one yet. Normally the BA Instagram account is on their game, but I haven't seen any updates at all from
Yeah, they're
them.
usually a lock. Who's been giving us updates on that? Somebody has been.
Well, no, I'm just saying that Beaufort. I
No,
think.
I know. I'm saying, but we've been getting updates earlier
Yeah,
in the
but
night
I
from
don't.
somebody.
We haven't got one recently. I can
Yeah.
check again, but last I saw it was an 8-point lead.
22-14, I think.
Yeah, 8-point lead for Dorchester Academy, but I've not seen anything in a while from over there. So still waiting to see what happens with BA, but
Hello.
they're still in it from last I checked. That would be a nice comeback effort from them if they're able to get it done, and if they do, they would head to they would head to Thomas Hayward as excuse me.
No,
Buford
no,
Academy playing
they would go to
Carleton Prep,
college.
rather.
They would
I
go to
spoke
college. Yeah.
incorrectly. Carleton Prep plays the winner of that game.
I think Dorchester Colleton, if it transpires, is a real interesting matchup next week for sure.
Yeah.
So back to the Hardyville game just real quick. It was 22-6, fourth quarter, Canes driving and got stopped on a fourth. So they were right in it. And the score's not that much different than last year, which was 36-7. But the game flow was entirely different. Game was in doubt in the fourth quarter. And really, if I'm being honest, Kamari broke a touchdown run in the first half that got
Tell you
called
what,
back
there's still
on
6:57 to
a
go.
phantom penalty.
There's a flag down though.
Kamari broke a touchdown run that got called back on what seemed like a phantom penalty. And then Hardyville shot itself in the foot on the second scoring drive that they settled for a field goal because they were on the goal line. But then here's the other thing. They had a 4th and goal from a ways back because of several penalties. But there was so on 4th down, quarterback Santiago ran. He was thrown down out of bounds, and a flag was thrown for a personal foul. It was a half the distance to the goal penalty, but it was 4th down, and there was no automatic first down. They said it was after the play, but I have to argue that the act of tackling the ball carrier, the play's not over until that is completed. That was part of the tackle. That was part of the active play. So I thought it should have been an automatic first down.
Another update from Max Raj at the
touchdown there, and it totally
Christian Gabby game.
But,
Wilson Hall,
big love to
56-20
Biff
winners
Gardner
over First
and
Baptist.
staff for the job they did this year, getting this program, really getting a foundation built. And the 8th grade class is crazy good. So we're excited in the bill for next year.
And that might just do it there, as McCarthy is going to be intercepted by the Indians. And it is all coming apart, unfortunately, for Hayden Gregory's Bobcats in this first round matchup with Gilbert.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a tough one because they talked a lot. They talked a lot.
They talked a lot game at the end of the year, especially with the inclusion of Mari Patterson when it offense been playing. But they have been stymied by
there was
gritty Indians.
They talked a lot about state championship, and it looks like they're going out in the first. But hey, I've just pulled into the house, so I'm gonna disconnect for a minute, and I'll jump back in with you in a few minutes after I hit the bathroom and top off my drink.
Alrighty, Justin Jarrett, founder of Low Country Sports, helping us out here. And how about this? The Sharks get the stop. May Rivers stops Wilson on 4th down, so it's their ball. With 35 seconds going, the own 45 will need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. So still hope for the Sharks, but certainly going to take a lot for them at this point to come from behind, as Wilson is coming to May River and has shown a lot on the road in a strong efforts. They are looking to do what Gilbert is doing to Bluffton and come to the Lowco and knock off one of our squads in round one. But while we have some time, our show tonight is sponsored by the Mickelson Law Firm, the original sponsor and our all-star sponsor, the official real estate closing attorney and presenting sponsor of our Hilton Christian Heavy Coverage. The Eagles looking good at home against Trinity Collegiate. You can call on Mickelson Law Firm for all your legal needs, and WHHI TV, our great partners in local sports journalism, the only television station devoted exclusively to covering the Low Country. You can keep up the latest news on WHHI TV. It's available through Spectrum and Hard Gray, and it's streaming online at WHHI.com. They're gearing up for basketball season in a few weeks. So going back to some of the scores that we have come across so far, and oh my goodness, the Sharks, just as they're able to get the ball back, are picked off. Wilson is able to steal this one, and that will do it. The Sharks are going to have their season come to an end tonight. They fall 36-28, and it will be Wilson who will visit Hilton Head in round 2 next Friday. So it looks like the Seahawks will be carrying the flag unless something miraculous happens in this one between Gilbert and Bluffton. It looks like only Hilton Head will be the 4A team remaining. Obviously, Bishop England looks like they will get the job done. So Hilton Head will have Bishop England in terms of teams remaining from that region. But in terms of 4A local teams, looks like Bluffton and May River are looking like they are going to. Looks like May River has been eliminated after that pick, and Bluffton in very, very dire straits. At this point, they're down 38-21 with under 6 minutes to play. But the Seahawks get done 52-24. Hilton Head, the region champs, they march on in pretty dominant fashion. And there were some moments tonight where South Aiken was able to get things going, but Hilton Head, I mean, just another sensational performance from Derek Renzeski. He was showing it with his legs into the air. Zarnecki was bottled up at times, but he still was able to make some big impacts, and the defense was able to make some important stops and just really workmanlike effort tonight from BJ Payne's team. I was incredibly impressed by the way Renzeski was able to operate the passing game. I mean, it wasn't just Jeremiah Walters. You saw some big plays from others throughout the night from Hilton Head. And I think I was most impressed with the play from Caden Stewart, who has really done a great job taking over. Had a couple of big time pitches tonight. And this passing attack, look out for what Hilton Head can do through the air because they have really grown exponentially. We've talked a lot about Thad Zarnecki, but what we are now seeing from this Hilton Head team is a quarterback that can not just make plays in terms of quick screens and quick short passes. He can sling it deep as well. And I think this may have been Renishevsky's best game yet as a passer and as an overall player for this Hilton team. He was incredible tonight. And in a game where the offense did most of the heavy lifting early, I think the defense did their job, but really the offense, Hilton was able to get the ball on their first drive. They had 2 huge third down conversions to move the sticks. And then whenever the run game wasn't successful early, you just go back to the pass attack and the clutch play of number 2 out there for the Seahawks. So what an amazing job that Renishevsky has done this year, above and beyond expectations that I had for him. And he was incredibly valuable tonight, especially early.
Yeah, sounds like it. Where's our final scores compiled at?
And then I was impressed with the defense did. I mean, they gave up that long passing play, a couple of explosive big plays, but they were kept to the minimum. I think Josh Bigger was very impactful. Will Jimenez as well. And then Justice Morris Jones had a couple of really important plays in coverage as well. And Jeremiah Walters with really the big time play on defense with the interception that it was still a tight game at that point, but then that set up Hilton Head on a very short field, set them up at around the 10-yard line. They punched them. That was really the big momentum changing play in that game because it kind of looked like before that South Aiken was able to just hang around a bit. But then after that interception, that kind of provided the big separation and difference for them at that point. And Hilton Head kind of just was able to really cruise from there and make some big stops on the defensive side as well. So a lot of good from tonight from BJ Payne's team. I certainly think they could have played a lot better. I guess the one worry I have is just the offensive line. Can they hold up against better teams? But I'm just incredibly impressed by what Hilton has continued to do, especially being able to exercise those demons from years back. The demons from 2008 have been slain, and now it's on the round 2 for Hilton with sky high aspirations going forward.
Yeah, and that one, did we announce that one went final?
It did, yes. I just did.
Okay. I didn't know.
Yes, Hilton Head 52, South Aiken 24. Seahawks will host Wilson in round 2.
Yeah. Can you run me through all the finals that we have at this point? I'm trying to get caught up here.
Yeah, I
Do you have
working
them compiled somewhere?
working document right now. Yeah, so Hilton had 52, South Aiken 24. That one just went final.
Yep.
Wilson over May River 36 to
Right.
28. So the Sharks are out in round one. South Points, as expected, they dominate Buford 63 to 13, and they advance. Um, Obviously, Bluffton's still ongoing, but not looking good. The Bobcats 4:35 to go in that one. Um, Hampton County got the W tonight, as mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Looking for the score. A lot of we got a busy night, so
Yeah,
trying
it's been coming
to track of
fast and
16
furious
games
here.
going on, trying to
Uh,
find all the
that Hampton
final score
final
text
was
over here.
56-22 was the final there.
Is that Hampton?
I did, yeah,
56-22.
yes, sir.
Okay.
I did find a halftime score from Battery Creek. They were down 56-12 to Loris, so that one was well at hand.
Um,
What was
yeah,
that
Whale
Phillips
Branch
Simmons Whale
falls
Branch final?
57-12 to Simmons. Simmons
And
57.
they started off great.
Yeah.
They
Did
really
they have
were
a lead
hanging
at
in
one
there
point?
early.
Or,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
albeit
I
very
think
early
they
in the
took the
game,
early
but,
lead. They were up
yeah.
6-0 early, I know.
Hardyville falls 28-6.
Yeah.
To
I would know. I was
yes.
there.
That's what
Marcus
Marcus Walsh would
Walsh
say.
doing Chris Berman.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, tough one, but certainly a lot closer, as you said, than that score would show.
Yeah.
Ridgeland, Bethune, Bowman. Do we have a score there?
30-28 Ridgeland at last report, and we're in
A tight
communication
one
with somebody on the
between
ground there.
Ridgeland and
Yeah, back and
Bethune
forth
Bowman.
all night long. Did
That
we get
sounds
an
fun. Yep.
HHCA final yet?
I think Hilton Head Christian Academy is still ongoing, but they are in control. From what we have seen, they're up 42-20. Our last reports. Florence Christian. Let's see if we have if that one went final, but it was not looking good, unfortunately, for
Jeez, that
the
was
Golden Warriors.
28
They were
nothing,
down
right?
28-0.
No bueno.
Yep, not great there. As the offense goes cold for JP2, and end of the third quarter, it's still 28-0 Florence Christian. That
Alright.
is we don't have a final there for that one yet.
Gotcha.
Looking for Hilton Head Prep Calhoun score.
I'll get on that.
Carlton Prep 44-28 final over Lee. The Warhawks advanced. Hayward up 34-20, but I have not seen a final yet.
There's your JP2 final in the
Yep.
comments.
And
28-12,
then
the final.
Williamsburg 40, Patrick Henry 12. I'm not sure if that's the final score, but that's the last report that we had. And then Dorchester BA, we're looking for the score there. That was that one possession game the last time we saw 22-14 Dorchester.
We got a final from rural Ridgeland. Thomas Hayward 47, Carolina 20. So they really flipped the script from 2 weeks ago and are looking strong, but they got a really tough opponent up next in Williamsburg.
Indeed, they do.
Really tough.
It'll be a tough trip over there to a very good.
I saw that Max said that Wilson Hall beat First Baptist 56-20. So if HHCA holds on, they will travel to Wilson Hall next week in the semis. My stomach is growling. Let me tell you about my day, because I got up at 3 a.m. today to go to the Lower State.
Go ahead. I'm just in shock about this Bluffton game. I mean, I expected a lot more from this Bobcats team, and but give credit to what Gilbert has done. I mean, that's always been a terrific program. I mean, I remember there were 3A football. I remember May River beat them in the playoffs, and they beat them there, which was a big deal. They went on to the Lower State Finals and lost to Dillon that year. But it just goes to show how good of a program Gilbert has been over the years, and they still are.
Absolutely. Yeah, really good. I was scared of that game. Gilbert's just they're always just a hard-nosed team, and I had a feeling they were going to come in with a chip on their shoulder. And I mean, all these kids are connected on social media now. They know it's not just the Loco kids who see people talking and glazing and all that, and they wanted to prove a point, and they proved one tonight.
Yep.
And it stinks, but I can't say I'm all that shocked. I mean, I knew that it was going to be a delicate thing that one bad night derails you,
Yeah,
and
and that's the beauty of it, and that's the cruelty of
yeah,
playoff football. I mean, you
you
could
got to
have
be consistent.
right,
You got to be consistent, and they again didn't have a great first half, and this time Gilbert didn't fold after the break. They didn't uh, let that pressure get to them, and they played the better second half, and looks like they're
yeah,
going to get the win. And then good point over here too. May River just again just kicking itself,
yeah.
just too many
Oh,
turnovers, putting it
yeah.
on the
I mean, you
ground.
saw at the end the interception, and that's a team that has not thrown it much, so it's hard for them to come from
Right.
behind. And even with a good run game, you got to find a way to hold on to the
But
football,
I
and
mean,
that's
if you're gonna play that style of football, I mean, one of the main rationales behind it is ball control and minimizing risk,
yep,
right? And so if you're putting the ball on the ground, that really puts you in a tough
yep,
spot. So and that hurt them in some big games this year, and again this time. So a little humble pie for some Loco teams
yep.
tonight, but not all of them. We do have some that advanced.
Yeah,
Yes,
Hilton did.
CPA finished it
Yep,
off
CPA did
44-28.
advance. They won big tonight, 44-28 over Lee.
That's
So
right.
the
I'm trying to get
Carlton
us
Prep
all the
Warhawks
scores into a,
will
a
head to the
ticker here.
winner. They will stay home to face the winner of Dorchester and Buford Academy. Whoever
Correct.
wins that one will go play at Carlton Prep.
All right. I think I've almost got all our scores
Yep.
that we have up to date here to get us a little ticker going.
Sweet.
Stricklander's been getting, maybe Stricklander was the one getting the BA updates. Wonder how that one's going. Let's see. Got all my scores. So yeah, what we want to talk about, Wes? While I get these tickers going.
Uh, yeah, I mean, back to that Hilton Head game, I guess. Just from what I saw and what I was able to witness, I guess the one thing about the Seahawks, which I'd like to see improved a bit, is just the blocking. When you lose some guys up front, I thought there were some high snaps early in this game, and they didn't feel themselves. But then, of course, we saw Renishevsky get the job done. He was able to do a great job throwing the football, and I still like their opportunity that's in front of them, and I thought the defense could have played a bit better. I was hoping to see them get a couple more stops than what they did, but when it comes down to it, they were able to make enough plays to shut down South Aiken in big situations, and of course the biggest one being the interception from Jeremiah Walters. What a season that he has had! I think we've talked a lot about
Yeah.
Skornecki, we've talked about Risher, but what a incredible piece Walters has been, not just at the receiver position, but also making plays defensively. And that's the thing about Hilden. I think they could have played a lot better. I'm sure BJ Payne would have agreed that. Just a couple of minor mistakes, penalties, and just lack of execution at times. But then again, the talent won out, and when you have a quarterback that can find good reads in big moments and just convert, I think that was the best thing I saw at Hilden. Just the clutch conversions, a couple of big time third downs that they're able to move the chains on, and then a huge fourth down where they went for it near midfield, and just a defensive breakdown for South Aiken as they left Jack Jackson wide open for an easy catch and run on 4th and medium, and just credit to Hilton for executing when they needed to. And it all comes back to the want and the mental side of it. Derek Renishevsky just has the it factor. We've seen quarterbacks in the past. They've been talented at times, but they just haven't had that go-to clutch factor that we've seen with Derek. I mean, he just knows how to make the
Yeah.
throws when they need him to.
It
And man, they had all the big conversions at the times they needed to in this game. As we have just seen a final. It is the end of the road for the Bluffton Bobcats in shocking fashion, or at least a minor shocking fashion, as that game has wrapped up, and it will be a Gilbert 38-21 victory as the Indians march on. And the Bluffton Bobcats, with one of the more anticipated seasons, with bringing in a guy like an Amari Patterson to go with Carnell Warren and the emergence of Cordell Holly. Their run has ended very early in the first round of the 4A playoffs. Once again, it just goes to show how deep and talented this 4A bracket is. Gilbert is a very good football team, and I think that you look at this Gilbert squad going forward. They're going to be a tough team to go up against. Moving.
Oh yeah, I mean, they already beat Midland Valley once this season.
Trying to pull up this bracket, but it is slow right here in the high school league.
Yeah, I was gonna pull up the scoreboard. I don't trust the bracket. It's got too many bugs.
Too much traffic, I guess, right now on the website. Maybe
that may be it. I also think it may just be something about the programming. But what I've found that does work well is the scoreboard. So let's see. Games we care about other than the ones we've talked about. Hartsville blew out Crestwood 45-8. Camden, that's upstate. North Augusta was blanking Midland Valley 30-0 in the third quarter. So it looks like
as much as we talked good about Midland Valley.
Yeah, they're getting smoked.
Yeah.
But Great Collegiate up big 56-7 over Brooklyn Casey in the third quarter. And then Lower Richam, Bishop England. I don't know what's happening there.
Looks like Bishop England had a lead. I have to check and see where that game has gone.
Yeah.
Let me head back into the Twitcher and see
Twitter sphere.
Yeah. It is a final. Bishop England has defeated Lower Richland 24-7, and they will advance. They will head to South Florence, it appears.
All right, I'm going to start updating the brackets over here to the extent I can.
I do have a final score for you guys, a bit more of a positive final score.
Oh, yeah?
Hilton Head Christian Academy takes down Trinity Collegiate 42-20. They will head on the road to take on Wilson Hall next Friday.
All right. So
good showing from the Eagles.
Great showing from them. And I have enough confidence that I think they can make a game against Wilson Hall really competitive. And I wouldn't put it past the Eagles to potentially pull off an upset next week on the road at Wilson Hall.
All right. You heard it here first. Max Araj says the Eagles can do it. They can do it.
Yeah. By the way, Hudson Baker had another tremendous night. That dude he's a bull, man. He just goes through guys like it's butter. He's just an absolute unit for that Hilton Head Christian Academy offense. He's just an absolute unit. When he gets going, he's got speed, but he can run through players as well, which makes him super dangerous. And I think he could give Wilson Hall some issues.
We shall see. It'll be going down next week.
All right, so here's where we are in 4A. As mentioned, Bishop England knocked off Lower Richland. They head to South Florence. Gilbert will take on North Augusta. That should be a fun one over there.
Yeah,
North Augusta.
Region
that one
rematch.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Gilbert pulls that upset as well with North
I don't know.
Augusta
North Augusta looked pretty good tonight.
on Midland Valley. So
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
I told, yeah.
yeah,
I was gonna say, I said last night on our pigskin preview, I was scared of that Gilbert Bluffton game. I just had a weird feeling that it could go either really good or really bad for Bluffton. And you know, obviously the really bad side of it came out tonight against Gilbert. Disappointing way to end the season if you're Bluffton. I mean, 2 years in a row now where you had the high hopes going to the playoffs and get knocked out in the first round.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back another year as well in 23. I believe they let up like what 70 points or something. It was not a fun game to be at.
Oh yeah, Richland Northeast.
Yeah, Richland Northeast. They got lit up that night.
Will Wilson put it on them. So we got the whole 4A bracket filled out. Then it'll be South Florence against Bishop England, Gilbert against North Augusta, Gray Collegiate against Hartsville, and Wilson coming to Hilton Head.
That will be an interesting one.
My goodness.
Ooh.
Hilton Head Prep
Holy
knocks off Calhoun Academy 27-26. Calhoun was the favorite in that side of the bracket. They were the team to beat over there, and on a collision course for Bethesda, and not anymore. Hilton Head Prep.
You kidding me?
Wow, that's got to be
kidding me.
The biggest upset of the year in the Lowco.
Oh, 100%. Wow, what a win for the Dolphins.
Unreal.
My goodness.
What a win. Daniel Burbage, Coach Burbage, we appreciate you.
That was a team where, that was a team where we thought early in the year they had some potential. I mean, they were beat by Buford Academy. They didn't look great against St. Andrews, and then they kind of started, going in the right direction. But my goodness, this was just unbelievable what they were able to do against the top seed 9-1 Calhoun Academy coming into this game, and unreal job by Hilton Head Prep, Wyatt Harmer and company, Davis Cargill. Brody Hauscher has been tremendous on defense, all of them playing a part.
I bet
all of a sudden, Hilton Head Prep is 1 win away from the state championship game.
Holy crap.
He's a 2A football.
Wow, when you put it that way.
They will get either PD Academy or Orangeburg Prep in round 2.
Oh, my goodness. I bet you Cargill went for an absolute monster game if that's the case.
If anyone has more details, we would love to get.
Please. We need more details, please.
Absolute stunner, and that immediately becomes the lead story of the night.
It sure does, and we know nothing. We know nothing about it.
We don't. God, how in the world did they hold down Cole Layton? I am shocked by that score. That is unreal. How did they hold Cole Layton down?
Well, I mean, they didn't hold him all the way down. I mean, they gave up 26, but they outscored him.
Big. I mean,
Calhoun with a missed field goal with 37 seconds left.
Man,
look at this.
I'm just incredibly proud of what he has done. I mean, just all the trials and tribulations that he has had to go and deal with throughout his career here, putting it all on the line, the winner goal playoff game, and performance of his career at a very good Calhoun Academy team. And let me see if I can find a PD Orangeburg Prep score to see who they will face in the semifinals. And an absolute stunning result. The Hilton Head Prep Dolphins under just an incredible coaching staff that has been able to Doug McFadden and company.
So happy for them.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Man, who and
I mean,
God thought that was going to happen? My goodness,
that is a program, defining type.
Yeah, and as I said, this program was on absolute life support just a couple of years ago, trying to find they will face, it looks like it will be PD Academy, who won 27-0 against Orangeburg Prep.
And
And I
PD
believe,
smoked them a few weeks ago, so this will be, a good test to see how big of a turnaround, we have got from Hilton Head Prep here. Boss, what are you doing?
but no matter what happens in that game, this is a program altering victory. What they did tonight, and just the way the offense was able to execute against a very good County Academy team, an offense that at times has been really stagnant and just unable to really find those big chunk plays to move the sticks. Just give all the credit in the world to what that line was able to do, and I suspect it was a big night for Cargill and company. And Armor may have had to make some big throws. Man, we'd love to get some more info on that one, and certainly we'll have more on Monday once we learn more information about that game. But an absolute,
Oh no, I have bad news. Sorry to be the bearer of such when we were just having a great kumbaya moment about Hilton Head Prep, but I do have a final from Ridgeland proper. Bethune-Bowman 34, Ridgeland 30. So the death knell for Class 1A in the Lowco
tough.
tonight. But
Wow, we've had
yeah,
this has been
Calhoun could not
a
get a stop.
stunning sequence of results with on both on the low end and the high end for some of these just stunning results that I did not
Yeah,
expect in terms of
upsets like
yeah.
March Madness esque, if you will, with upsets all over the place. Unfortunately, most of them going against our favor, but Hilton Head Prep with
Absolute
the
stunner.
upset of the
Yeah.
night, taking down
Upset of the
Calhoun
season,
Academy, the
if you
top
ask me.
seed. Yeah, I mean, I think so in the Loco,
Mm.
for sure. I think you're correct on that. I think we got almost all of them final now, right? 27. Wow. I am I am stunned, but in the best possible way
Yeah.
about that Hilton Head Prep result.
And for
And
a team that needed it so badly because just ever since the late 20 Dave Adams had a couple of good years and credit him for what
hmm
has done, but there were several lean seasons. I mean, very lean, winless seasons for this program. To
yeah,
see them break
yeah.
through with a win like this, that changes everything for this program, not just this year, but for this program when moving forward. When you're able to knock off a one seed in that other region, I mean, that's an absolute game changer for a program that really needed it. And you see those upperclassmen just doing everything they could to step up. Man, that's gonna be a fun bus ride home, isn't it?
Oh,
Mm.
I'm sure it's rocking. Guarantee they stop for food,
Yeah.
which I can attest when you stop for food with a busload of athletes, or even with 4 athletes like we did
Yeah.
today. It's a good hour. I mean, even if
Yep.
it's fast food, it's going to take you an hour to get in and out of there, and it's going to be an ordeal. So yeah, it'll probably be a late night getting home for the
Especially
dom.
after what we saw before the playoffs to end the regular season. They dropped a little bit of a head scratch, although it was a short week kind
Well,
of
it
thing
was that
against
short
Bill and
week,
Chris.
man.
So
That
you can't.
really hosed them.
And then the week before, or the week after that, I mean, they gave hell to Hilton Head Christian
They
Academy. It was a
fought.
33-21 game.
They fought in
Yeah,
that game.
and they made it a one
And
score
the
game. So like,
JP2 game too. Like I really think if they played Dylan Christian on a regular week, I think they win that game
yeah,
by a couple touchdowns. I don't think it was
yeah,
fair they had to play that game on
right.
Tuesday. And I think they
No, not
proved
at
that
all.
tonight. They were not a 4 seed.
Here's the
They
other
should have
thing
been a
for
three
me.
seed.
Yep.
And they got
Yeah.
it done tonight.
Here's the other thing for me. They have fought in quite a few games this season against JP2 and Hillnet Christian, but they were never able to get over the hump. Well,
Yeah, you
they
said
did
that last
tonight.
night. Yeah,
They did
tonight
tonight.
they closed the deal. Yeah, they
They
closed the
closed the
deal
deal.
tonight.
And I think if they can do that, I think they can fight against anyone. But I'm intrigued now to see how they could do against PD Academy after a few weeks between them playing each other to see where
Well,
Hilton Head sits. Hilton
let
Head
me
Prep
let
sits.
me let me I got a theory to posit here. Um, yeah, that's what I thought. So McFadden was really disappointed with the way they played against PD, and he didn't tell me that, but he told me that. because I texted him for a score that night, and he responded and said 44-0, and he said PD is not what they used to be, but I guess we aren't either. And you could read between the lines that he was pissed off. Like they weren't who they thought they were that night. And since then, you've had a 17-7 slugfest with JP2, a tough win over St. John's Christian, that weird short week, another slugfest with Hilton Head Christian, and now a huge win over Calhoun. So I really think that game against PD was the tipping point, and that's the theory that I was going to posit. I think that was the tipping point where this team, the leaders said, "Hey, what are we going to be?" And since then, they've been a different team. So I think you can throw out that first meeting. I think this is going to be a different game. I'm not saying Hilton Head Prep's going to beat PD, but this is going to be a different game. It's not going to be a walkover. They're going to show up and they're going to play. There's some confidence there now too, because they did close the deal. They did find that killer instinct. So look out. I think that's going to be a good game. What a story it would be if they went from 2-8 to in the state championship game, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that would be nothing short of remarkable if they're able to get another win. But just what they were able to do here tonight and knock off a 1 seed in a season where it seemed like a lot was going against them. I mean, what a difference just one win can make for especially in a playoff environment, for the direction of this program, especially where they were given some bad hands to start the season. All the rain delays against BA.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, maybe I'm not feeling so bad of picking Hilton Head Prep to beat BA opening night or opening day.
Right.
Maybe I was onto something.
Touche.
Yeah.
You're a man ahead of your time. The only final we have not found yet is Dorchester Academy, Buford Academy. So if you've got that one, help us out.
And that was still a game. It was an 8-point contest last we saw with
and then it went
Dorchester ahead. See if I can. I don't know where Max Raj just went.
Max has gone into the ether.
Trying to find a.
I'll follow you into the dark. What are we looking for here? Buford Academy. Here we go. What do we
got? Still nothing. I mean, they have
final score DA 36, BA 20. So comes to an end.
DA beating BA?
D as in Dorchester 36. B as in Buford 20.
So Carleton Prep will face Dorchester Academy.
Yep.
In the
rematch
1A semis. And so both are actually Thomas Hayward's still in it.
Yep.
They will head to Williamsburg, and then Carleton Prep stays home as the 1 seed, and they will face the Dorchester Academy Raiders in what should be a very interesting game.
Yeah, let me get that bracket updated for you. All right. Max, tell us more about that HHCA game, because it was kind of a little bit back and forth early, right? But just kind of turned it on.
Well, the funny thing is, Hilton Head Christian got out to a 14-0 lead early. Trinity Collegiate had some speed on that team. They had a couple kids who could just flat out run, and had a kickoff return for a touchdown. It was a mishap by the HHCA kicker. I was talking with the coach, special teams coach, Coach Berkner of Hilton Head Christian at halftime, and I just asked, "Was that?" Yeah, he's great. Asked him at halftime. I was like, "Was that a mishap?" And he was like, "Yeah, that was supposed to be an onside kick, kind of a squib kick."
Hey,
instead, he kicked a
JJ
full
Ray Alonso wants to join
our
show. If you could send him the link.
I got it. Yep. Go ahead, Max.
Right. I don't know where it was. Oh, he said it was a mishap. It was supposed to be a squib kick, and it wasn't. Obviously, it was just straight to one of the back two in the field, and they just ran it all the way back for a kickoff touchdown. But in reality, I mean, Hilton Head Christian Academy, despite it being a little back and forth, Hilton Head Christian Academy had control of the entire game. I mean, from the very jump, they were just a better team. And I'm going to say something that I have not said all season long. Hilton Head Christian Academy faced an offensive line that was smaller than their defensive line, which when have we ever said that this season?
Yeah, that's been a rarity.
It was just shocking. I just looked at them. I mean, they have one big dude, and the rest of them were kind of smaller than your average offensive line. And Hilton Head Christian Academy played great on defense. I mean, this was a Trinity Collegiate team that really just passes the football. They run it a little bit, but Hilton Head Christian Academy stopped them there, then started stopping them in the defensive secondary. And Trinity Collegiate tried to make this a game, but it really wasn't. Despite the back and forth scoring, Hilton Head Christian Academy just looked like the better team.
They were in control
throughout the entire game. I'm gonna say something that I just have a weird feeling. Wilson Hall had won 56-24 tonight over First Baptist, but
20, I thought.
The score I had 56-24. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. I see this Wilson Hall team is very good, very strong team. Beat Pinewood Prep this year, which I don't think a lot of people thought they were going to be able to take down Pinewood Prep during the regular season. They did. This is a team not to mess around with. I think if Hilton Head Christian Academy comes out and plays their best game, I think it's a close game between those two. And I wouldn't, like I said earlier in the show, I wouldn't be shocked if AJCA was able to pull off an upset on Wilson Hall. But I think Crest Langhouse had a good game tonight, threw another interception tonight, but only one, and was pretty solid throughout the game. Didn't have many issues. I think on both sides of the ball, they were pretty solid. So I think they're as confident as they've ever been this season, and I think that confidence is going to help them a lot going into their game next Friday.
All right, man. Let's see here. I'm trying to get us updated brackets. I'm trying to update.
Man, we only had 2 high school league teams survive the first round: Hilton Head and Hampton County.
Ridiculous. That is
crazy.
That's going to be one of my parting thoughts because man, something fierce.
Yeah, that's oof. Yeah, I mean, we said they were our best hopes, right?
Yeah, I mean, they are the 2 best hopes that are still alive, so that's
we didn't think they were our only hopes to get out of the first round.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of stunning losses. May River, Bluffton for sure, and then I thought originally they had a good chance as well to get a win. And Hardyville on top
that
of
one hurts. That one definitely hurts.
I think the Hardyville one hurts as well, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but I'll be honest. I mean, we played a tough game. That it was probably, I don't know. It stings, but it was a lot of stuff beyond our control. Millie getting hurt. That's beyond your control. And but they played well. I mean, I just don't want them to throw the baby out with the bathwater. It was really a good season. There was a lot of growth, and there is so much coming back, and so much coming up that the potential is.
I believe that includes Emiliano Santiago as well. He'll be returning.
Yeah, Millie's back.
He's a junior. That's right.
Right. So a lot of guys are back, and the 8th grade class is crazy good. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's encouraging. I thought Hardyville played admirably, tonight and also this season, and I expect both these Ridgeland and Hardyville teams to improve and get better. Although Ridgeland, it's tough because their defense has played well all season, but certainly they weren't able to get the stops tonight in that matchup. So feel for the Jags. That was a real opportunity to get
I told you last night that was a scary matchup. Bethune-Bowman's quarterback.
By the way, I don't know if you mentioned it, but Hampton County will host Cheraw in round 2. They beat.
That's a scary matchup.
That is what I expected, and that is a scary matchup.
That's a scary matchup.
It is. They're
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they.
Yeah.
I had Cheraw in my top 10 the last poll. I'm not sure if they cracked it, but I was high on Cheraw heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, I was too. They're just always really scrappy, tough team, always better at the end than they are at the beginning.
But I mean, on the
And
plus side, Hampton County at home for the second round of the playoffs, I think that gives them a little bit of a boost.
yeah,
Plus,
maybe it's just we're feeling dread after the way tonight went.
Yep.
Like,
yeah,
oh
I know.
God.
Yep.
But no, we should be
Yep.
more. We should stay bullish on
Yeah, I
Hampton.
mean, I
But
think there are some big time ups and big time downs for some of these teams, but that's nature of these playoffs. That's what makes it exciting. In a one game
facts.
sample size, you never know what could happen, and that's the fun of it, but also the cruelty of it to see some teams with stellar seasons get knocked out early. Especially Bluffton had a tremendous year, so did
Yeah.
May River, and that's a hard nature of
Sometimes
this.
you're the hammer, and sometimes you're the
And on
nail.
on the opposite side of it, Hilton Head Prep, who had a not so great start to the season, and now they're one away from a state championship game. So
Yeah.
Crazy.
Speaking of that May River game, we got Ray Alonso hanging out backstage. So let's get him in here. What's up, Mr. Ray? Had a heck of a game over there. It's kind of they're feeling each other out in the first half. It was low scoring, but turned into a shootout in the second half. So tell us about the obviously disappointing result, but great game over in the tank.
Yeah, well, it was. Wilson came out and they, as close as it was in the first half, they dominated the first half, and then they continued on into the second half. But every time they needed a big third down, Wilson was able to get it. May River defense couldn't stop them. They had quite a few, 3rd and 5s or 3rd and 6s, and they'd get the first down. So May River.
Yeah. And then a 3rd and 25 for a touchdown, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen 3 or 4 false starts in a row like that.
wow,
It
crazy.
was 3rd and 25. They dropped back, hit the guy going across the middle, and he took it to the house with a touchdown. And I think that was pretty much the backbreaker.
What was it that ultimately plagued May River? You talked about turnovers a bit, but just your thoughts on how the offense looked and kind of what was the biggest factor that plagued this team tonight.
Yeah, Wilson was able to stop them on the line of scrimmage. I thought they dominated the line of scrimmage on defense and on offense. They didn't let any of the running backs for May River get going.
And that's May River's game. If they can't bully up
bread and
front,
butter.
they're going to have a tough time.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, Justin Head had a couple of runs for, 8, 9, 10, 12 yards, but nothing big. Mitchell didn't do much today. And the quarterback, I think maybe he threw 3 passes. One
was picked, right?
Yeah,
expected, kind of expected there, though.
Yeah, I mean, they just don't have that. That's not
right. They don't have
it.
They don't have a tremendous passing offense. That's
they're not built for it.
2 passes that were picked. It was almost like he was just kind of throwing it up.
I mean, that's kind of what their passing plays are. It's kind of he just tries to read the safety and throw it as long as he can. If the safeties are there and if not, then he just floats it and lets them run under it. And he usually makes good decisions there, but
not tonight.
And I mean they watched so much film on him. They knew how to defend it. So yeah, it's really hard to win in the playoffs being that one dimensional. It's really tough. Either way. I mean, and I think you saw it with Bluffton too. They despite having a little bit of a running game, they have a tendency to get one dimensional as well. Tough night. Hampton County in the house and still in the playoffs. Thank goodness.
I do have another score of kind of an important note. Pinewood Prep takes down Northside Christian tonight. I believe the score was 63 to. Hold on, let me get it here. 60 to 13. Excuse me. So they will be taking on Florence Christian in the second round. So the semifinals.
I would to waltz through Florence Christian. Although I will say that Florence Christian did show up against JP2 and last I checked, I'm not sure a final, but they didn't allow any points.
28-12 was
28-12, so they get up a few. But I think that I don't think they're the same level as Pinewood. I think Pinewood wins that one rather I mean, maybe
But
maybe
that,
maybe they put up a fight. Florence Christian goes, but
that makes the 3A bracket set for the next round. Wilson Hall will be at home against Hilton Head Christian, and Pinewood Prep will be at home against Florence Christian for the semifinals of the playoffs. And by the way, just crazy thought is Hilton Head Christian's 1 win away from a state title game as well.
Yeah,
they are indeed,
yeah.
and
That's
the
way less
beauty of
crazy
music.
thought than Hilton Head
Prep.
Prep, though.
Yeah.
Considering the
Well,
Yeah, that's
situation.
very
the
true.
triple header is still alive potentially.
That's
This
right.
is very true.
Yep.
So yeah.
Oh shoot.
And
Trying to
I think
fix
that
my
Hilton Head
bracket.
Christian Academy has an outside chance. I think Wilson Hall. I don't think they're as. I mean, maybe I shouldn't discredit them much because they're a very good team, but I just think the way Hilton Head Christian Academy is playing, they can sneak up on them. They could.
Yeah.
But it will take
Yeah,
a lot.
I agree. I think they're to use Max's favorite. They're hitting on all cylinders, or
Yeah.
clicking on all cylinders, whichever one it is that you usually say.
Firing on all cylinders.
Firing
Firing all
all.
cylinders,
That's
that's
it.
the
That's it. Firing. I was like, he's always doing the all cylinders one.
Yeah, 'cause
remember, I've been up since 3 a.m. So
Yeah, I know.
you can't hold me accountable for anything stupid I say tonight. Okay, that's the deal. It's been a day. All right.
By the way, Marcus Walsh is in the green room if he wants to join us
Marcus
here.
let
Walsh.
that man in. Let that man in.
Get him in here.
Yeah.
Get in
Marcus
here,
Walsh.
man.
Thank you very much, Max.
Hey,
greatly appreciate
number one, great call.
What's
Great
up,
call. I was
Ray?
able to catch you. On the Bluffton, certainly a disappointing game for Bluffton, but I'm not sure if you heard the biggest news of the day. The Hilton Head
gosh.
Prep Dolphins with the incredible upset over Calhoun Academy. I want to hear your thoughts on the Dolphins because you got to see them a couple, or at least once, maybe a couple times. And, just to start,
I got to see them. I saw them twice. I saw
In
them
the last
twice
3
against
weeks,
JP2 and then HHCA.
Yeah.
Twice in the last few weeks. First off, I have to say, and I wanted to piggyback because I heard your point, JJ, about Bluffton being one-dimensional. That wasn't the reason, in my opinion. Certainly, calling the game with Javon. That
Oh
wasn't the
yeah,
reason they
I
lost the
meant in
game.
general.
Bluffton?
Because I didn't
Okay.
get to really follow the game tonight. I had you in my ears, but
Yeah,
It
I wasn't
was-
quite watching.
they-
I was at Hilton Head, but
They
I
really
just saw them off. I saw them off punt
struggled.
at the end, and that was really
Yeah.
what kind of shut the door for them in terms of
Yeah.
giving
yeah, that was the
Gilbert
final
back the
straw.
ball.
Let
Because I thought
let me
down
fill
10,
you guys.
I thought there was a realistic
Yeah,
shot.
let's let Marcus tell us
Yeah,
about
go
it.
ahead.
Let me fill you guys in. I was at the game. I called it. So the situation at the outset was just rough. The defense could not give up or could not get a stop. It was just run after run after run. Metz or Metzi, whatever his name is, he was tremendous. I called him as both for Gilbert. He was terrific, just running like a madman. Staley was great in the second half, running the football. The run game really wore Bluffton down, and obviously there were some big plays, certainly between guys like Carnell Warren and certainly Amari Patterson. I was pretty impressed with Cordell Holly, despite the fact that Gilbert, attacked their run game, got through the offensive line, and made some plays there. Tyler Wolf had some huge catches, and we talk about Roman Benjamin a bunch and what he can do. But at the end of the day, the chippiness was a huge factor in this game, and the mistakes. And I typically do not say this, but the mistakes by Aiden McCarthy.
Yeah.
I have
Shame.
not seen Bluffton look like they looked tonight in the last couple of years. Well, I guess we can go back to certainly the Hilton Head game. And I even brought this up on the air. I said, it just kind of dawned on me. I said, I called the May River game last year between May River and Hilton Head, May River and Bluffton, excuse me. And then you had the Hilton Head game to follow. And that game was postponed time after time after time. It was
Yeah.
played, and Bluffton came out flat.
Laid an egg.
Last
Yeah.
week, I called May River against Bluffton. Huge win again for the Bobcats. And what do you know? They just come out as a funky bunch drove us home. They just come out flat. And the mistakes just this was not the same Bluffton team that we're used to seeing, and it certainly
Yeah.
did not look like an 8-2 team. And Hayden Gregory had his team on the field at the end of the game, and I said, it's going to be the same old thing. Remember how he's saying, remember how this feels. We don't want to feel like this again. Eventually, Bluffton's going to have to get to that second gear,
Yeah.
and I kind of came off certainly on air just calling it as I saw it that I was critical. Of
Been a
course, you
similar
call what you
story.
see
Yeah, you gotta have
Yeah.
to.
with
Been a
Yeah, you
similar
have to.
without
story over the
question
last few years
Yeah.
about
for
coming
sure.
up short.
And I
But
said eventually they're going to have to make
Look,
things happen. I will be working with Javon again next week. He wants me to do play by play. There were some issues with the stream and whatnot, so
well,
he was juggling that around and whatnot. So I'm going to be doing play
there's
by
only
play
one
on
place.
the
There's only one
Hilton
place
Head
that. Yep.
Wilson game. That's it.
Yep.
nice.
That's
So
although
everybody's going
That
to be
ain't
there,
it.
and
we do have Sherrod
going to have
That
to
Hampton.
ain't it.
have the pipes going.
We can
Hey,
always
we do
go to
have a game at Hampton County. They're the
Hampton.
Hurricanes against Sherrod, and we do have a college to prep. So we do have two other home games, and maybe because you'll be there, maybe I'll head out to Hampton next week to catch the Hurricanes taking on Sherrod.
Speaking of next week, I have the brackets all updated, boys. So here we go. South Florence going to host Bishop England in round 2. Gilbert traveling to North Augusta. Gray will host Hartsville, and Wilson coming to Hilton Head. And you heard it here first. It'll be on. Well, you probably heard it on Buford's Own too, I guess. But you heard it here that it'll be on Buford's Own on Friday at the Hilton Head game as the Seahawks try to keep it rolling into the third round. Looking at 3A, we out of this one, boys. Oceanside will get
Yep.
Marlboro in round 2. Silver Bluff advance. They'll go to Dillon. Loris hosting Oberg Wilkinson. And Hanahan traveling to Newberry in round 2 in Class 3A.
That could be
That
fun.
Loris Oberg Wilkinson game could be really fun.
Could be.
Yes.
I mean, I think
Yes.
all these second round matchups are actually, I mean, Oceanside
I
probably
feel like
rolls,
I
but
feel like Orangeburg
the
has been
others are pretty
overranked
good.
at times, just in terms of the poll during the season.
Yeah, they play a
Right.
fairly weak
because they play
regular
an easier
season,
schedule. So
non-region
I'd
schedule.
smash Loris in this matchup, but at the same time,
They're
Orangeburg
Yeah.
is
still a
strong.
really
I
strong
mean,
team.
I think it's Loris Newberry
Yeah.
collision course, but Hanahan's certainly been playing good ball lately.
Yeah, don't count
Um,
Hanahan.
In 2A, it'll be Sherrod coming to Hampton County. That is going to be a great game, and I'm leaning toward being at that one myself. I haven't been to
Yeah, I mean,
Hampton
we only have
in a minute.
I haven't been
Um,
either.
a handful
Think
to
about it.
choose from at this point. So
Yeah. Timberland going to Manning. That should be a good one as well. And we'll be rooting for Timberland. No offense, Monarchs, but we want the home game for Hampton. I know Jalen Singletary wants a piece of Manning, but we'll see how
Yeah.
that transpires. Central will host East
question about that.
Clarendon. I think that's a good game. And
That's a
then
great
Philip
game.
Simmons hosting Atlantic Collegiate, which shut out Woodland tonight, 14-0. And that's a
That's
team that
shocking.
has really
wow,
well. I've been following that team because I got a friend up in Myrtle Beach whose son is QB1 there, and I met him through travel baseball or All Stars, and his kid's pretty good, and I've been watching them. And they kind of struggled at the start, but then they knocked off East Clarendon, and that got my attention. And they've been playing really good ball ever since then. And this win over Woodland is a nice one. I don't think they got enough for the Iron Horses, but that's a program on the rise
Can I-
because they're that
yes.
next
Can I just say,
charter
though,
school up.
Can I just say, hats off to Will Branch because they fought hard in that game
Hanahan.
against
Yeah,
Philip
they did.
Simmons, and I
They
give
did first
you
half.
know-
They were really in it.
to send them off. I obviously what a great season it was for Whale Branch. Obviously, the record doesn't show it, but they were much better than I think any of us predicted they were going to be this season.
Absolutely.
We just thought they were going to be, a team in a rebuild mode
Rebuilding.
that it was going to struggle a lot this year, but they really didn't. They had a lot of really close games that
I agree.
either went their way or didn't, and they
Mhm.
fought hard.
Yeah.
Hats off to Whale Branch, man. They had a great season, and I
Indeed.
expect them to be to keep improving as a program, especially with the great coaching staff they have over there.
Yeah, they did a great job. I was very impressed with what they were able to do, especially on the defensive side of the ball. In our WHHI TV opener, as I've talked about a bunch this year against Ridgeland, and this is a team that you got to remember as well had their first year without a legend coaching them, and Willie White has a chance to do some things without question, but Jerry Hatcher left his mark on this program, and I think they used that. I'm not sure how much he was around the program, if at all, but they used what he brought to the table all
Yeah.
those years to make things happen. And great
Yeah.
year out of Whale Branch.
Yeah, and I don't think Jerry was around because I don't think he's the
I
kind of
figure
guy
probably
who
not.
I don't think he's the kind of guy who can step away and still kind of be around, like he'd want to get back in there. And he
Right.
wanted to go fishing. He was ready to go fishing. And so that's what he's been doing, I think. But
Hey, well-deserved career
I
to go
Yes, indeed.
fishing.
100%. Yeah. Him and Clifford deserve all the fishing trips they can get in at this
Yeah.
point.
Oh,
Yeah.
But no, I was gonna piggyback on that a little bit, Marcus, and just say that I hope the folks there understand that Willie White wasn't going to be Jerry Hatcher in year one,
correct.
but did he carry on the
Yes.
standards of the program? Did he, I mean, did he
Absolutely.
continue to run the program? And
I
you
think
don't
he
have
did
to
a
run
great
the
job.
same way, but do you still focus on the
He
values that
put
are
his
important to
I
your
think he
school?
did as good of a
Yes.
job
And
as you'd hope for.
I think he really did. I think he
But I think
deserves a lot
I
of
think
credit.
he kept the traditions of Whale Branch, but he put his
Yeah.
own twist on it as
Right.
well.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what makes I think Willie White and his coaching staff one of my favorite coaching staffs this year, because I think they put together a team that we didn't think highly of going into the season, and he just proved to everyone, hey, we are still, Whale Branch, and we're going to continue to improve as each year goes by. And I think they
Right.
showed that this
Yeah.
season, despite not having the teams that they have had in recent years. They still proved to everyone, hey, we can still fight, and we'll be back next year, and rearing ready to go.
Yeah.
I really loved watching this Whale Branch team continue to improve and impress, I think, all of us throughout the season.
Yeah, they definitely
Absolutely.
were seeing them in the first game against Bluffton and thinking that they weren't going to be much at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they fought against Bluffton, which was crazy to think about.
The
That
first
half.
half, they stayed in it.
That
Yeah.
first half, they held on with them, which was
But I
really.
think it was more about Bluffton being sluggish.
Yeah,
In that
Bluffton was
first half.
sluggish, but still, even if they were sluggish, you just thought Whale Branch was not going to be able to hold with
Right.
them for more
And
than
they
a
didn't.
quarter,
It was
and they did.
49 to nothing or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, but football games are 4 quarters. So it's like
Yep.
you
Right.
can't get too caught up in what happens in the first half if, they still end up
correct.
getting
But
blown out.
you know,
But when you're borderline 1A, 2A playing a 4A, you take your moral victories when you can get them.
right,
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, before I lose the thought, I am hearing that the realignment that's going to come out for the high school league is going to turn things back on its head. That they're going
Okay.
back away from the 2 5A divisions, back to 1 5A division, and an expanded 1A. They're saying 60 teams, 60 schools in
Wow.
1A.
Cow.
Whoa.
So
Good
you would
grief.
probably
Gravy.
potentially end up with 2 divisions for football there.
Wow.
If that happens, then when you go up to 60 in 1A, you are definitely almost certainly getting Hampton in there.
What are we gonna do?
You're absolutely pulling Whale Branch down
Whale
there.
Branch in there.
Yeah.
And so, you'd
I
end up
don't-
with a Whale Branch,
That'd be a fun
Richland,
read if you get
Hardyville,
Hampton,
possibly
I don't know what-
Hampton.
Hardyville, Ridgeland.
Yeah, I don't know what to think
Right.
about that.
Yeah.
To be
Although
completely
there'll be two
honest,
Wow.
divisions, I'm not sure how
The
they'll
other
do-
part of that is
I
that
mean, you will be by
the
enrollment, but
expanded 1A would also then siphon some of the smaller 3As down to 2A, some of
Yep.
the smaller 4As down to 3A. And so
Yeah.
I'm hearing that
Really,
Battery Creek could potentially drop to a 2A.
2A.
Colleton could potentially drop to a 3A.
Hmm.
And those obviously would be things that would really
very
They're
interesting.
positives.
benefit
Yeah,
those
as long
I think
as-
like
look,
Battery
as-
Creek. I
yeah.
think that they are better Sue's a 2A school, and I think
Absolutely.
All I'm gonna say around that is this: as long as Oceanside moves up a division, then I'm okay with it.
Well, they wouldn't.
they-
Which
And
is
more
my
instead of
worry.
3A than yeah.
they wouldn't move up one. I mean,
Buford,
nobody would be
Buford
moving
come
up
back
one,
down to 3A.
Right.
really. Beaufort might get pulled back to 3A, and
I
the
think
other
that's
thing
not
it
a bad
might do is,
idea, especially with the
Yeah.
way the last 2
Yeah.
years have happened.
yeah, it's been rough the last couple of years. For
But I mean,
Beaufort.
the other
Yes.
thing for
There's-
Buford is you look at the size of Buford School; they're small for a 4A
relative,
program.
yeah, relative
4A,
to
yeah.
4A.
That's why
Um,
3A would fit them better.
And
Yeah.
also a smaller 5A might also keep May River out of 5A for another cycle.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Which they're definitely on the cusp.
Well, would that
Um,
mean schools? I guess that would mean schools from 5A would move down to 4A as well, which I don't know. If,
Correct.
So
would that,
Just
like a James Allen or a Lucy Beckham Peck.
yeah, just
Yeah,
some
I
of
really
the
don't want
some of the
that.
smallest ones. No, James Island's like they're
James
D1.
Allen's staying. Lucy
It would
Beckham,
be
on the other
it would
hand,
be
might
the
be.
smaller ones. It
Yeah.
might be like the
They might be
Stratford
back to
or the
4A.
Stall. Well, Stall might be one that gets
Oh, yeah,
pulled
so-
down, which would
And
be
Stall
great
has
for
join
them.
Stall
Stall
could
has
join a
to.
4A
They gotta
region
move
with us, like with a Hilton
Yeah.
Head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would hope Stall moves down for their sake.
Yeah.
I
So
hope they
anyway,
move
I didn't mean to start a whole side
No,
tangent.
no,
but
Well,
but
it's,
that's
I
what we're
enjoy
here.
this. This is
Yeah.
interesting. I enjoy.
I've been getting
we
lots
love
of
this
scoops
stuff,
lately.
though. We love
Here's the
having these
1A
conversations.
bracket for you. Cross will host Bethune-Bowman with the upset over Ridgeland. Scotts Branch at home against Johnsonville. Carvers Bay against Lakeview, and Bamberg against Latta. I'm still on Bamberg and Cross.
Yeah, Bamberg's the
to the
favorite
finals.
Yeah.
statewide. Although Abbeville, I mean, could definitely beat them.
Hey,
By the way, another
No,
game.
Abbeville. Where is? Oh yeah,
Abbeville's
up
1A,
there.
or Abbeville's
Again,
upper
I was up at 3 a.m. Give me a break.
Yeah.
I realized it immediately.
state.
Actually,
probably
another
about ready to wrap this thing up. Don't you think,
Collapse.
JJ?
another game.
We're
Another game
getting
of
there.
note, which I guess
Yeah.
we'll get to that in a second. I was going to say
3A bracket, Skiza, Wilson Hall will host Hilton Head Christian. Pinewood will host Florence Christian. We're already into semifinal week.
Yeah.
Skiza, it happens fast. Hilton Head perhaps
Look at
the
that.
story of the night with
Look
the
at
upset over Calhoun. They
Incredible.
assume the number 1 seed's path, but unfortunately they still have to go on the road to PD. Don't you wish you got the home field if you
God, I
beat
wish
one?
That would have been nice.
Oh yeah.
You should
For that
assume
West-
a team's seed if you
Yes.
upset them. I think that should be a universal change.
I think that
in
should be
any
well
kind of
deserved.
playoff.
Yeah.
Imagine
you
if that's in
beat
the
a
NFL
team, if you
playoffs.
upset a
NFL
team, you
playoffs, you have
assume
like
their
a,
seed.
Yeah.
although the 1 seed gets a bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love that though. I would love
But
to
yeah,
see
like
that.
say
That would be great.
this. Yeah.
By
I
the
think
way,
you should assume their
Bethesda,
seed.
Bethesda absolutely smoked Thomas up
Yeah,
there.
everybody's playing for second. Everybody's
Yeah,
playing for second.
everybody's playing for
in
second.
this bracket.
But
Sorry,
I
Prep,
mean,
but I think they know.
just to
they
get
play
that
for
one
this.
win, Hilton at Prep.
But it would be
Huge.
great.
Yeah.
It would be great.
Huge.
But
It would be great.
would be the icing cherry on the top if they can get one more.
I mean, if Prep still has some luck in them, if they got some good old luck in them still to beat out
You know
PD, my problem would be their luck would 100% run
Does
out.
anybody want to venture a guess at Prep's last playoff win?
It's got to be when
No.
they were in the same division as
when I've been here,
HACA. So
must
I
be-
would
Yeah.
tend to say,
Yep.
God, early 2010s, if that.
You got it in
Anybody
front of you?
else? Yeah.
I'm trying
Anybody
to
else?
think. I'm trying to
You
think
definitely-
if they.
It may be earlier than that.
I know.
now that I think about it.
I know that they had a lot of
Damn, now
lean
I gotta look at
games
Well,
and
here
lean
I'll give
years
you a hint.
in the Dave
They've
Adams
had-
era, but
I'll
I
give you
wonder.
a hint. Let me give you a hint.
Okay.
They've won one playoff game since Ron Peduzzi left Hilton Head Prep.
So it's got to be early 2010s. That's the
Yeah,
only thing I
somewhere.
can think
He
of.
left in his last year was 2010. They've won one since then. What year was it?
I think it probably. I started
20
calling games in
You're
never gonna get it.
2013.
I
I'll
was
say
thinking
2015.
He got it. It was
Hey.
2015.
It was
Kevin
2015.
Wald.
That was Kevin Wald. As soon as you
Kevin
mentioned
Wald.
the Peduzzi
Yeah.
era, I said probably not in the era of Dave Adams. It had to have been
How
Kevin
about
Wald.
Kevin Wald? Kevin Wald is
What a
the most
coach.
successful
My
coach
gosh.
at
That's
Hillnet Prep in recent
first
history,
playoff win in 10 years, and I mean, very
and the most
unlikely.
successful at JP2
I was
ever.
just gonna
Yeah.
say that. Don't forget, he
Took him to
started
a
that
state
JP2
championship.
program.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I don't think
Unbelievable.
he's
How about that?
started
13
it.
now.
First playoff win in 10 years, and that's making history for
Did he
your
start
program
it?
already
Yeah, he
with
did
what
start.
you've done.
Sensational.
I mean, Stone McDonald never won a playoff game. Tommy Stauffer never
Right.
like those were tremendous players. And
Where is he now?
Wyatt Harmer did what Stone McDonald couldn't. And same
Who'd
with
you ask
Davis
him about?
Cardinal. So
Wald.
nothing to take away.
Oh, Wald went to Florida.
Not
after
saying
he
anything
left
badly
JP2.
about
Yes.
Stone McDonald. He was tremendous, and
Oh yeah. No,
he had a
you're
couple
right. It's
tremendous
a
outstanding
big
seasons, but just
deal.
Big deal.
just clarifying about how big this playoff win is for Hillnet Prep because
Yeah.
it's been a long time.
To
No
quote our
school
friend,
on Monday, guys.
to quote
I
our
see
friend
y'all
Mandy
petition for that.
Matney of Murdoch Murders fame, that's a big deal. That's her thing, right? That was her thing during the Murdoch
Well,
Murders.
JJ, I
So
will get on top of trying to get some Dolphins for our show on Monday,
let's do
as
that.
they are the big story of
Great idea.
the
Heck
weekend.
yeah,
and
that's fantastic.
No
You
doubt.
know, I just thought about
And
this.
then we got the
only
Skeezer
have-
1As. We got Thomas Hayward going to Williamsburg. We got Dorchester coming to Colleton, and that's all she wrote, boys.
Oh, Hayward
only
did
6
get the win.
teams left, and
Yeah,
three
they
of
won
them at
big.
home.
47
Colleton
to
Prep,
20.
that's a long track, but should be a great game.
And I know Williamsburg's a really good team, but with how Thomas Hayward's been playing lately, do we put it past Thomas Hayward that they can
No.
make it a close game?
No, I don't.
No,
I don't.
Sure.
They
And let me give you some. Oh yeah. What was the
remember last
HHCA
year
final?
with them
Williamsburg.
knocking Williamsburg off
Look,
in the
we-
final.
They
Look,
lost
they
to them in the regular season, and they
got
beat
a couple of
them
the guys that they had on that team.
Hey,
The
Marcus,
So
we said
Jay
last
Alonso
night-
was giving me good updates on this tonight.
Yeah.
Jay Alfonso, rather. I was
I
looking
was-
at Ray Alonso's name and said Jay Alonso. But here we go. Again, 3 a.m. Just remember 3 a.m. Sequence of events from the THA game. Josh Gibson, quarterback keeper touchdown. Then Carolina touchdown. We were tied. Carolina got an onside, but they fumbled. Rebels got it. Josh Gibson touchdown pass to Owen Palazzo, 2-point good. Enrique Palazzo, that's what I'm going to call him. Anybody get that one? Enrique Palazzo. Anyone? Anyone?
Done.
I did.
Huh? Yeah, naked gun.
Yep.
You got it. Just making sure. Thanks, fellow old guy.
Yep.
And then Josh Gibson, 98-yard quarterback keeper touchdown.
Good Lord.
Made it 20-6, and that's where it was at halftime. O'Banner had some key big runs and moments, but mostly been Josh Gibson. But then after halftime, O'Banner, tush push, QB keeper, 1-yard touchdown. Gibson pass for 2-point conversion. Then Carolina clawed one back to make it 28-14. Then Tony took over, 57-yard touchdown, 34-14. Carolina scored again, then got a fumble and was driving, but Rebels get an interception. Tony O'Banner rushes for a touchdown, and then Tony O'Banner rushes for another touchdown, and it's 47-20. So Gibson in the front, Tony in the back, and took him down.
Can I just say, we had mentioned last night, Marcus, Williamsburg has to have some PTSD regarding Thomas Hayward, especially from last year. So I wouldn't put it past Hayward. And by the way, there's a chance that we could see Thomas Hayward and Colleton Prep for a state title.
That game they played was a
Crazy.
long. That game they played feels like an eternity ago, bro.
I know. That's my point. I just think I was there, which feels like forever ago, watching Colleton Prep absolutely put Tony O'Banner into the ground for pretty much the entire game.
Here's
It's
the
changed
deal.
since then. I think just more so Thomas Hayward has gotten better. But Colleton Prep has still been the team we thought they are, and
they got a tough
one
one
to be
next Friday.
We thought they were. Yeah, they got to beat Dorchester, and that's they're of their bugaboos. That Dorchester team is very good, man. I'm still a little bit surprised that Williamsburg handled them the way they did because you saw them, Ray. They're just tough, hard nosed
Yeah,
football. Dude.
they are.
They wear you
yeah, they
down.
lost one by 2 scores, but that was pretty recent, October 24th, and so get another shot at them here, and I think Carlton Prep seeing them again. I think they're going to give a much tougher challenge.
Yeah,
to,
and
these-
that's what makes me think like the thing I've noticed with this Carlton Prep team is they learn from their mistakes pretty quickly, especially during a game.
Yeah,
And
they bounced back from.
I just think
all that
after
bad
a loss like that to Dorchester, they learned what they needed to learn to see whether or not they can hold Dorchester and try to get a win for a run
Well,
to the state title game.
I think Dorchester's kind of in the same mold as May River a little bit in terms of like their system, right? And they're
Right.
one dimensional.
Yeah.
And I think whenever you have a team like that kind of simplifies things, I think there's an advantage to the more multiple team in a rematch situation. Because I
Right.
mean, what's Dorchester gonna do different than what they
right.
did the first
Obviously,
time?
Carlton Prep are
They
going to make
do
some
what they
adjustments.
do. There isn't anything else. They run like 3 plays, like
Right.
it's just all option. And it's just assignment based
It's all about
football and
it's all
defense.
about
So
execution.
they
If they
they
execute
ain't
at a high
switching it
level,
up
then-
on you. So if CPA can make the adjustments to what
Right.
they do, but then
and
CPA
I
can throw
I
some
like
different
Greg. I
wrinkles.
like that
Yeah,
coaching staff a lot, and they've
yeah,
been shown to do it. I mean, this is a team that got beaten by JP2 opening night, and a much different team than what
for
they were
sure.
then. No, that's for sure. They came back and they absolutely walloped St. John's Christian, and they really rolled from there. And then of course they beat Thomas Hayward. So
Yeah.
Carlton Preps, they're going to make their adjustments. They're going to be ready for this game. I think it's. I mean, I would say Dorchester's the favorite, but not by much. I think it's certainly possible that Carlton Prep is able to take care of
By the
them.
way,
It'll be a home team, but I think it's a
Yeah.
pretty even matchup. I think it's up for the taking, and that would be cool to see Carlton Prep take that next step back that state title game because it is really.
Well, I would love to see someone go to it so I can make a trip out
I
to
think
Charleston.
I think they're the
I know. I
best
want to get
bet.
some East Bay Deli. I don't want to
Yes,
get
dude.
They're the best bet.
Yes.
Although Thomas Hayward, I think, has an opportunity, then you never know.
You know what it's about,
He goes to
Justin. You
Christian
know what
Academy,
it's
and
about, man.
I mean, God knows he'll net prep. They shocked one.
Yeah, man. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I can't wait to text
So
Doug
good.
McFadden about that one. That's awesome.
Oh, God, if we could
So,
have gotten
yeah.
them while they're on the road back, that would have been great.
It's too late for all that.
I know that.
Yeah, we'll get them
But,
Monday.
We'll definitely
one last
talk
time.
Monday night.
One last time through the scores for you. We don't have many teams left standing. We had 16
No.
candles on the
Only
birthday
6
cake
survived.
We have
going
like,
into
what,
tonight. We
6?
blew out 10 of them. So 6 remaining.
Nice.
Hilton Head advancing over South Aiken 52-24. They'll face Wilson next week after Wilson beat May River 36-28. Gilbert knocked out Bluffton and South Point knocked out Buford. Gilbert 38-21 over the Bobcats. South Point 63-13 over Buford. So just one team left in 4A for the Lowco. It's the Seahawks. West's Seahawks carrying the banner. Loris knocked Battery Creek out tonight in 3A 59-19. So we're out of that bracket. We still got representation in 2A. Hampton County 56-22 over Lake City. They'll host Cheraw next week in Barnville. Philip Simmons knocked out Whale Branch tonight 57-12. Philip Simmons is kind of one of our nephews. Like,
Yeah.
they're not our kids, but they're like our nephews, like we root for them after our teams are gone. So as long as
They're
Hampton's
not
in
our
it,
kids, but they're
we
from the
can't-
neighborhood.
yeah, exactly. They show up to the cookouts. Bethune Bowman beat Ridgeland 34-30.
They
And
come in
Lakeview
to
beat
get the
Hardyville.
leftovers.
Yeah, they come. They always come and get a plate. Lakeview beat Hardyville 28-6. So we're done in 1A. On to basketball season, which is always a happy occasion in Jasper County, and wrestling season at the Ville.
Yes.
We get some guys back in the room next week.
I tell you what, basketball season at the Ville is going to be fun too.
Oh yeah.
Could be. Coach Toomer coming in. There's a lot of energy.
What a
and there's
coach.
a lot of talent in the gym. So
I've called some games of his back in the
he's
day
an intense dude.
at
It's
Ridgeland.
gonna be
He's
fun.
intense, and he's gonna demand really quality performance out of his players for sure.
Yes,
Great
yes,
hire.
sir.
Great hire.
Continue, Justin.
What's that?
Continue.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I
was
got
going to.
sidetracked. My ADHD.
Florence Christian 28-12 over JP2. It was 28-0. So JP2 rallied in the second half there, and great season for them. The big things are coming for that program, no doubt. Got just about everybody back, it seems like. HHCA 42-20 over Trinity Collegiate, so they will travel to Wilson Hall in round 2 and Skeeza 3A. Hilton Head Prep, the story of the night, 27-26 over top-seeded Calhoun Academy, avenging a playoff loss last year where they played them tough as well. So one thing you got to say about Doug McFadden's teams, they have been better at the end of the year than they were at the start, and that didn't used to be the case.
That's
Hilton
right.
Head Prep the last few years. So they're on to the next one. They'll go to PD Academy to try to avenge a regular season loss. Colleton Prep 44-28 over Lee. So they will host Dorchester, which beat Buford Academy 36-20. And then on the other half of the bracket, Thomas Hayward advancing 47-20 over Carolina Academy. So they will travel to Williamsburg, which beat Patrick Henry 40-12, which is the same score that Williamsburg beat Thomas Hayward by in the regular season. Last year, Williamsburg beat Thomas Hayward 28-26 in the regular season, but then Thomas Hayward beat them in the playoffs 23-8 in the state championship game. So there you go.
Do we, speaking of nephews, do we consider, I assume we consider Bethesda's
a nephew. Yeah, that's
okay.
a nephew.
Right, cool.
Woodland's a nephew. Any of the schools in Dorchester Academy, or Dorchester Academy as well, any of the Dorchester County schools, basically adjacent counties to the Lowco, I consider you nephews and nieces.
Welcome to the family, everyone.
We love you too, but we just got to put our kids first. That's all. You know, we love you too. We take care of you.
You
but,
guys,
we got to put
you
our kids
guys
first.
go back to your own parents.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Come on over. We'll give you some candy and some ice cream, but you gotta go home at the end of the day.
That's right.
Until we get enough staff to expand. But all right, boys.
Yeah.
I think we did enough damage tonight. I am cooked.
Yep.
Absolutely cooked.
That sounds like an understatement, JJ.
We will talk more about this on Monday on the Lowco Sports Lowdown. But thanks to all of our sponsors. Wes shouted out the big ones earlier on, Mickelson Law Firm and WHHI TV, but also much love to Hudson Seafood House on the docks, Twinge and Twombly Personal Injury Attorneys, HHI Windows and Doors, Reverence Wrestling Club, and Jay's Barbershop. And shout out to Javon Livingston, 6, 7, 8,
Yes,
9.
Shut up.
I started hitting the kids with 8, 9,
so
and they're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "It's not any more ridiculous than 6, 7 to go 8, 9."
8, 9.
Today I learned that
I love it.
Well, last week I learned 41 was the new 6, 7, but then today I learned that it's 61. Is the new 6,
Well,
7. I don't know, man. None of them have actually taken over 6, 7.
Is that like
6,
the
7
age that they want to be, or what's going on? I don't understand.
No one knows.
I know there's a group.
like
I know there's a
Christ
group
already,
7.
I
I'm not
guess.
sure what that is. And then there's just a bunch.
But 6, 7
Good
seems
grief.
to be here to stay.
6, 7 is
Did you
pissing me off.
see? Speaking of 6, 7, did you see? Who was it? It was a women's basketball game, college women's basketball game, and it was like a education day situation where the crowd was all elementary and middle school students, and the team had 66 points, and the kids started going crazy. And the girl made her free throw, and they were all just, I mean, they lost their minds. It was exactly like the South Park episode.
I did see that clip. It's hilarious.
It was insane.
That's hilarious.
I don't get it, but I'm embracing it at this point. You know, why not? Brondo's got one playing.
You are.
I'll tell you what.
You kind of have to embrace
if
it,
somebody
Justin.
scores 67 points in a
they're
basketball
lose
game
it.
this year,
They're gonna lose their mind, Marcus.
Justin, you kind of have to embrace it, man. You are a teacher at the Ville, dude. It's kind of hard not to embrace it.
It's so funny. I can't. All right, enough. All right, boys. Good times. Thanks for joining us. I'm absolutely toast. It's been 20 plus hours I've been awake now.
Man,
I
he's been
think
in a
I
stroke
think I
today.
dozed
Sorry,
off for
God,
about
too.
10 minutes in the car once, and for about 10 minutes before I had to get up and go to the game, and that is it. And so I'm roasted. But I will sleep. And then, yes, Kevin Libby, you asked in the comments. I am trying to wake up in time to go to the Cove tomorrow and see Takoya Hayward and Claflin
Okay.
in a scrimmage against the USCB women.
Very
So
nice.
trying to get over
Ooh.
there. But we'll talk about all that on Monday as well as these games. Thank you, fellas, for Marcus Walsh, Ray Alonzo, Max Araj, and Wes Kerr. I am Justin Jarrett, and I'm cooked. So until next time, go Lowco.